What positives do you bring from that tournament as manager, as coach?
Most of all, I believe the experience, both for myself and the players, effectively. This year, the team that we took across to Austria has been the youngest team. I mean, 6 out of the 12 players were under 20. So, mainly experience and the hard work that we carried out over there, which was fulfilling.
And you've mentioned the fact that it was the youngest squad that's ever been to represent Gibraltar at a senior level. Obviously, this ties in perfectly with Gaba's long-term development plan of just getting the juniors involved with the senior athletes as well.
At first, integration between juniors and seniors training together was a bit iffy. I mean, everybody did their own little groups. But as the months went on, I think that the integration with both teams was excellent. And as it was evident, the juniors reaped more benefits of training with senior players more than seniors with the junior players.
Now, in terms of your opposition there in Austria and the senior ladies, very similar to what we witnessed here in Gibraltar for the senior men, the likes of Andorra, Scotland, Wales, Azerbaijan, I believe, were there as well. Irrelevant of the final rankings, what sort of competition did they bring to the tournament, and how did Gibraltar fare against them on the court?
The senior ladies who were drawn in the same group as Iceland and Malta, who effectively finished second and third respectively at the end of the tournament. Very hard teams, very well-disciplined teams, very fit teams. Their advantage was obviously height. Height is a big factor, whether you like it or not, in basketball. I think preparation-wise, we could have done better. Effectively, all we did since September was training sessions and very little friendly games. So the intensity wasn't there for us. But it's always good to play against good teams, so you can see yourself where you are at the very start of the tournament.
And obviously the first match of the tournament for you guys was against Iceland. I remember seeing Iceland's under-16s here a couple of years ago, and just the height of the girls. I mean, probably about your height at the age of 15, 16 years old. So baptism of fire, I guess you could call it, for Gibraltar in the senior ladies tournament. A very heavy defeat, but they managed to bounce back and sort of regroup well for the rest of the tournament.
That's right. We played against a very, very physical team. I mean, their point guard was as tall as me. Their average height, I believe, was in the region of 1.90 m, 1.92 m. But it's always good to play against the toughest opposition to start off any tournament. Baptism of fire, effectively, mostly for the junior players of the squad. The rest of the seniors, I mean, they've all experienced that before. But I mean, we managed to bounce back off that. We learned from that game straight away. What you know to do is just forget about that game and get on to the next one. And that's what we did. We just played every game as it went.
And if we can talk about the under-18s now, Darren, not as disappointing as you could call it as the senior ladies. Managed to make the semi-finals. Again, very tough group stage games, but a good performance from them all round.
Juniors were drawn against Malta and Andorra, which again they respectively finished second and third in the championships. So we had a very tough group there. The first couple of games that we went there, it was a shock to the system to most of them, which I reiterated time and time again. It's all about discipline, just keeping the momentum going, keep on working hard. I've always said to them, they can beat us on skill, but never on commitment and effort. And the girls just kept on plugging away, chipping away, and effectively we made it into the semi-finals, which was great for us.
Now, in the process of making it to the semi-finals was probably the highlight game of the whole tournament, especially for Gibraltar, against what effectively was a quarter-final against the Principality of Monaco. 39-all, almost at the final buzzer. Just give us your emotions when Joel Grech actually sunk that basket to send you through to the semi-finals.
I remember we started off that game and we weren't as intense as we needed to be, especially in defence. We started making silly mistakes which they reaped the benefits of, and we were 11 down at half-time. Needless to say, I had a chat with them and managed to motivate them into what turned out to be a fantastic second half by these girls. I mean, they were throwing themselves for every ball. There was no such thing as 50-50 ball. We were winning every rebound, winning every individual battle. And we were drawn 39-39, I believe it was. There was 4.9 seconds left of the game. I called a timeout. I explained to them a little play that I wanted to do. They went on court. They did completely the opposite, and we managed to score that goal that basket by Joel with seconds to go. And as you can imagine, very emotional. All of them were crying, and because we made the semi-final. So yeah, very proud.
Now, as you very rightly stated, you were 11 points down at half-time. If I may say so, under-18 girls aren't perhaps not the easiest of athletes to motivate and to get raring to go for the second half. So how did you manage to turn that game around with your words, really?
You can't really treat every player the same. You can't, it's the carrot and the stick sort of thing. You can't be too much of a dictator, and you can't be too much of a pally-pally. So every player has a little trigger point that you must, one of them needs an arm around the shoulder, the other one maybe needs a little chewing of the ear. So I managed to just get to them and say, look, the game is there, it's only 11 points down, we're not down by 50. If you keep on working hard, we keep on chipping away, you know the mistakes that you've done in the first half, I'm sure we can turn around the game. And basically I said, I believe in you guys, and you've got to believe in yourselves. And that's what they did, effectively.
Now, we've mentioned Joel Grech, who was one of 3 players who actually took part in both the senior and under-18 tournaments. I think Natalie Rodriguez and Courtney Ferrer being the other 2 girls. What did they bring to the under-18 tournament after having experienced, I believe not for the first time, in fact, the senior tournament in Austria?
Because they were integrated with the senior squad in Austria for a whole week, they were basically partnered up with very senior players, which took them under the wing, and they realized that basketball or any other sport is all about discipline and teamwork and hard work. So all that rubbed off onto them, which then they took over to Andorra with the under-18 team. And they just became natural leaders, the 3 of them, for the under-18s, both on and off the court, how to go about business. You know, we're there to play basketball. As soon as you put that shirt on, it's all about the name in the front, which is Gibraltar, not the name at the back. And that just the experience that they took across, it rubbed off on the other players, and I was over the moon with them.
Gibraltar's taekwondo fraternity has also had a busy past few months, and the work doesn't stop for them throughout the summer months. Back in June, Megan Ruiz and Macy Cornelio represented Gibraltar at the Northern Ireland Taekwondo Pumse Championships. The girls were accompanied by Master Ernest Garcia, and they were joined by over 300 competitors from England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Republic of Ireland and Korea. I recently caught up with Master Garcia about the trip to Northern Ireland, and we also spoke about what's coming up for Taekwondo in Gibraltar.
Well, Master Garcia, it's been a very busy couple of months for Taekwondo in Gibraltar. It's been a while since we last caught up with you. A lot of things on the cards for you guys. One of the main things that's happened in the past is the trip to Northern Ireland. You went with 2 of your youngsters to the Northern Irish Pumse Championships, and it was a very well worth visit.
It was excellent. It's 6-7 nations, top nation nowadays in Pumse, and we took Megan and we took Messi Cornelio as well. One of our cadets, she entered in Class B, she came 5th, she did extremely well. Then after that we had this seminar on the next day with the top coaches and international referee on Sunday from Germany, from Portugal, from Korean, British as well. So we learned a lot of things there, getting ready for the Commonwealth coming in November.
And obviously these sorts of trips are what really help boost the enthusiasm and the motivation of the Taekwondo enthusiasts here in Gibraltar. Just a team of 2 that you took to that competition, but a lot of people involved in the sport now, and a very high standard here in Gibraltar as well.
Yeah, we're bringing up the standard, and the main thing is when we go for a competition, on the next day they do a seminar with all the top coaches and international referee. And normally they are the judges that are in the European and World Championships. So the standard, we're learning a lot, we're improving all the time, we're looking forward for the Commonwealth, and we're going to take a team of 4 players, individual, 3 of them in under 30, then we're going to take Megan in under 17, and then a team of 3 under 30. And then we got Alex Trinidad as well, so he's going to do Yuruk, it's the aspiring one, and the standard is similarly high. We hope he tries his best and at least bring up the flag up there and see what Gibraltar is.
Now, you've mentioned the standard of the Northern Ireland competition, the nations that were involved. Obviously, we know that Gibraltar Taekwondo has a very good working relationship with Great British Taekwondo as well. How is Gibraltar received on a world stage in the world of Taekwondo?
Now we are receiving, now we're being more organised on the last 2 years as entered with the British team, and we've been competing in Scotland, in England, and now coaches that are coming from everywhere and see our players. For example, Megan in Northern Ireland, she was brought in front of all the players to show her technique. So before no one knew, Megan, where's Megan? From where? Now everybody knows that we're coming from Gibraltar and we're doing extremely well. And at the same time as well, we're improving, inspiring as well. We're looking forward for sparring because on the next Commonwealth will be in Australia, and we're going to put sparring for Taekwondo. So we're looking forward to get a couple of players. We've got 4 years to get ready now, and we're looking forward to get more players to get involved in sparring as well, so we can get the team from Gibraltar to the Commonwealth.
Now here in Gibraltar, Taekwondo is one of very few sports that basically doesn't stop throughout the year. I mean, it's the summer now, we can see behind you the guys going through their paces, and now Friday's coming up and you've got another visitor coming to Gibraltar to coach these youngsters.
We got the Derek Simon Cameron, he's an international referee, and at the same time he's a coach from Great Britain as well. He's now going to take a team to the World Championships, and we try to bring him or Gemma every summer. We're going to have 3 days of hard work. So it's going to be about 4-hour session, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's getting people ready for the Commonwealth big competition. Let's see what we can do there. At least we show the flag, and everybody knows where Gibraltar is.
And obviously, finally, one final point: the Commonwealth competition, well, Commonwealth standard in any sport is very high for Gibraltar standards. Obviously, medals are probably not on the forefront of your mind, but what is the main aim of the trip to the Commonwealth in November?
The main aim is to try to get experience, and now for example, Megan is ranked number 4 in Great Britain. Great Britain is about 7 nations in Great Britain, so she's going up now. Now we're going to be lucky because we've got the twin girls as well. The twin girls, they're going to do a lot as well. They're going to be in university study. Now it will be easier for us so they can train with the best player for Great Britain. Our stamina will go up quickly, and that's what we are looking forward now. It's going to be very difficult, but we're going to try and do our best.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for on this week's programme, but be sure to tune in again next week to keep up to date with all of Gibraltar's sports news.